How often do you replace appliances or electronics or anything really? I've seen a lot of things online where people are talking about replacing phones with the brand new iPhone, updating, buying new computers, buying new appliances like refrigerators, even some where they're switching to like a refrigerator where you can tap it and then see inside the fridge, which seems very pointless to me, or AI enabled refrigerators or refrigerators with microphones. I do not understand the new refrigerators. I do not want my appliances to talk to the internet. I want them to, like in the case of the fridge, keep my food cold. In my washing machine, to wash my clothes, I don't need it to talk to the internet. I don't need to try to play Call of Duty or Doom or any other game on my refrigerator. I just want it to keep my food cold. But people are buying these new and enhanced appliances, and I don't quite understand it. And it goes for cars too. A lot of people who have cars where either they're leasing them, and when the lease is up, they'll get a new one, which is at least makes sense to me. But I know some people who buy a car, get a car note, and then 5 years in, the car's paid off, or maybe 3 years in. But right when the car is paid off, they're like, "Oh, I want a new car." It's no longer a new car. I want a new car. I don't understand that. I view it as the car is expensive enough that when I find one I like, I don't want to be replacing it on a regular basis. Ideally, it has low maintenance cost and gets me where I need to go with minimal problems. So I don't quite understand the push to replacing appliances. And I don't know if it's actually real or if it's just like an internet thing where the people who post a lot online are the kind of people who do that, but most people aren't doing that. I would guess from the sales numbers and the fact that they keep coming out with new iPhones that is in fact what people are doing. But if you are watching this and want to let me know in the comments down below, is that something you do? I'd certainly be interested to read it because it doesn't make any sense to me. I still have an older iPhone that I'll keep using until it basically doesn't work anymore. I won't go till it won't turn on, but I will go probably several more generations because it still works, does what I need it to do, and I'm kind of happy with it. Same for the car. I drive an older car because I don't pay for it every month other than for gas, right? And whatever routine maintenance there is, which is another thing. Apparently people don't really do routine maintenance, at least from the videos I've seen online. And again, those could all be skits, could all just be joking around. Who knows? It's hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes it's true. And I do think some people don't know that you have to change your oil or other things on your car. But I think for the most part, those are jokes, I hope. With the electric cars, I don't think they're quite there yet to really replace the other cars. I just don't think the infrastructure is there. I don't think the interest is there. And I find for a lot of the new cars, even the gas cars, there's so much electronics in the car themselves that I just don't see them as long-term viable with how much electronics are in the car. I have some old electronics that basically don't work anymore because they're just so old, right? Like they still turn on. And if I can hardwire them into the internet, they can talk to the internet. But for some of them, it's hard to get them to talk to Wi-Fi. For others, if the screens get a slight problem, maybe the thing turns on, but there's nothing, it doesn't really work. And I'm 100% convinced that in 10 years, some of these screens from 5, maybe 10 years ago now, as of posting this video, will be not replaceable because the connections will be different, right? Like the old iPhones had a different connector that I don't know if you can buy anymore to charge, right? So if you're running a really old one, that's gonna be a problem. I recently was in somebody else's car where their car, it's a newer car, they have a USB-C connection instead of the standard USB. And it's like, oh, that's different. In the car themselves, I think because of EU regulations, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they're just more effective. I don't know. Okay. The old one worked fine. I don't know. I mean, I understand moving to new things when they're noticeably better, but some of the things don't seem to be noticeably better. So that's why I don't understand the replacing appliances so often or cars, because things aren't, in my opinion, really improving. There's all these extra features, but the core thing is still the same, right? The refrigerator still keeps my food cold. I don't need a fancy see-through door refrigerator that can go opaque, or if I tap it, it can let me see through it. I can open the door if I want to see in the fridge, right? It's not losing so much cooling that it's really necessary. And those sorts of appliances are a little odd to me too, because I have known people who have newer ones where they replace them more often than I would have expected, like every couple of years. And in those cases, it's been because the fridge has stopped working. But maybe it's not quite as often as I think, and it just feels more often. I don't know, but it definitely seems like they aren't as reliable as they used to be. I've heard that with washing machines and dryers. Now the one I have is, I think they're both a Samsung. My dryer is a Samsung. I don't remember the washing machine. It might also be, because it's what I can afford at the time. So I understand that. If you're buying the cheaper ones, you might just be stuck working with what you've got, but I haven't had any problems with them either. But so I'm not entirely sure. It just seems very strange to me that people are actually doing this, especially because you see all this stuff in the news with, hey, the unemployment numbers aren't looking good. A lot of people are doing gig economy work as opposed to more standard jobs, which I think is its own issue, but is possibly okay. Probably not. There's probably worse underlying issues that so many people aren't getting hired for stuff. And it certainly makes the gig work, like driving, delivery, and everything, a lot less profitable for the driver, right? If there's so many people competing, there's so much of surplus of potential labor and willing labor to do that job, then yes, the price is going to come down. The value of doing that job is going to come down. So that's not great, obviously. And I think there is a problem with so many people doing it too, right? Like there should be more people in more stable jobs. I think it says more bad things about the economy than the numbers show. But I think that's been true for a while. And I think in this age, there's so much junk noise in the news and everything that it's hard to see what's what. And I approach these appliances and cars, electronics, as like replace them when they need to be replaced. I don't want to pay for the new thing when it's not a genuine improvement. And I don't want to be shelling out money on like marginal stuff that doesn't really interest me. Obviously, if you love tech, if you love the tech stuff, then that's going to be a different story. But for me, I just don't get it. Well, that's all I have for today. So thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will catch you in the next one.